What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, OG is back, man. Today's gonna be a touchy topic. Okay, first and foremost, man, I have to touch on just a little bit about some nutrition. It's gonna be very short and brief because I need to touch on a topic that I've touched on in the past, but I've never mentioned the title of this group. And more than likely, I still won't. You know, I speak a lot in riddles, and the reason is to keep certain things off of social media. The ones that know, you know, and the ones that don't know, there's no point of you even knowing, you know, because it really doesn't pertain to living out here in this real world. The titles and words that people use freely here on social media, man, it's crazy. But yeah, Mr. Dubs, he touched on a title that I'm very familiar with, and I'm gonna give my thought on that as well. I've done it in the past, but I've done it in riddles. So for those of you that are followers of Mr. Dubs, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about now. You don't have to figure out my riddles, you know. And like I've said, you know, that's just what I do. But before I do go on to that, I'm going to touch a little bit where I left off yesterday, how I was speaking about carbohydrates and ketogenic diet. Okay, but first and foremost, got to give a shout out to all of my channel members, my channel subscribers, my followers, and everybody that's been interacting with my channel, man. I appreciate every last one of you guys. Because of you guys are keeping me in the algorithm, and my channel is growing. Once it gets to 10,000 subscribers, I will start doing lives and interact with everybody. There will be no biased guidelines on my channel because I interact and show love to everybody. I don't care what color, what race you are, what nationality, what background you come from, what you identify as. We're all human beings at the end of the day. We all go through struggles, some more severe than others, but we could relate to one another. And that's why you're here viewing my channel. But first and foremost, once again, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, put your notification bell on all, and share this channel. I am a full-time online fitness coach, so if you want to get started in your fitness journey and start becoming that best version of yourself, shoot me a DM, High Power Fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Okay. Now, with that being said, the nutritional part of my video today is gonna pick up where I left off yesterday. Yesterday, I spoke a little bit about carbohydrates and what they are, you know what I mean? It's a source of energy. And then I spoke a little bit about a ketogenic diet, which is a low carb, high fat diet. You know, the reason being behind ketosis is to bring your body to that stage of burning ketones. Okay, so let's pick up right where I left off at, which is ketosis. Ketosis, okay? This is what ketosis is, people. Ketosis is a natural metabolic state where your body burns fat for fuel instead of carbs. It's going to take anywhere from 3 to 5 days to enter ketosis. And it's a lot easier for people with healthy insulin levels and pancreas function. People where, you know, their pancreas is working the way it should. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a lot easier for them to get to ketosis. To enter ketosis, you need to lower your carb intake and incorporate intermittent fasting. Keep in mind, people, ketosis has many benefits, including lowering insulin levels, which is important for overall health and weight management. Okay. Now, with that being said, if you're ready to get your health back on point, email me at highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_. DM me at highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_, or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. I will provide you with the blueprint that will get you the results that you've been chasing after for, you know, year after year. You know what I mean? Be honest with yourself. Take a look at yourself in the mirror. You still haven't gotten them results that you've been wanting to acquire. I have that blueprint. It's a shortcut. I'll get you there faster than what it's going to take you to do all the research on social media and gather information through the internet. Anyways, with that being said, people, you already know. Hit the like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all. Share this channel. And if you want to get started on your fitness journey, you know what time it is. Now, let's move on to Mr. Dubs. He spoke on something today that I've spoke on many times in the past. But he used the title of this group. I choose not to use it. And I'm very knowledgeable of that title. Very knowledgeable. I will be very, not too limited to a certain extent. I'm not going to get into debt the way they wiggle, because that's none of anybody's business but theirs. You know, I'm just going to put it like this, man. I've warned you guys out there. I've said it over and over, especially to these guys that are creating this, a war between the North and South that never existed amongst us people from down here to up there. And the reason why people are able to do this is because the people nowadays on social media have such very large followings and such loyal audiences. They believe everything that comes out their mouth. There's a few individuals that claim a title that I know for sure they are not of that title. They don't have the standards of that title. They don't conduct themselves as one of them. There is certain individuals that I know personally. What happened with them, I don't know. But they are out here on social media, and they did participate with that group. Social media is like a poison. It can get the best of people. I've seen it coming from some of the most solid people on social media. They contradict themselves. They say one thing one day, and then the next day they say something different. Not in that short of a time, but you know, because I watch them and I'll see things. And you know, like I said, when I view people's channels, I sit there in the audience. I just listen, because it's a way to pass time for me. It's therapeutic for me. You know, keeps my mind occupied. Because like I've said in the past, and I'm gonna tell you guys today, man, if you think long, you think wrong. Well, anyways, yeah, I know I rambled off. That's what this individual does, and it is what it is. If you don't like my rambling, if you don't like me touching on nutrition and fitness, then swipe left, swipe right. Just don't scuff up my state boots, you feel me, on your way out. Because if you do, you'll find one up in your ass. Anyways, man, that's just humor, man. You know, that's just what I do, you know. Don't be offended. I know there's a lot of sensitive people out here. You know, at the end of the day, man, there's so many people out here, these internet bangers. They're living in a fairy tale. And from what I see, these are individuals that thought that they could live the life that they're portraying here on social media. And the reason is because they made an attempt to live that lifestyle, whether they did time or not, and found out that motherfuckers weren't playing. That's just for real. There's a bigger cause behind everything. And that's why I'm constantly emphasizing what goes on behind them walls and behind them electric fences should stay behind there. It's like whatever happens in Vegas should stay in Vegas. Using words, let's put it this way. Bringing the vernacular from inside of them walls to out here in the streets and using it incorrectly can be fatal to an individual, depending what type of word he tried to express and expressed it in the wrong way. Because like I've said, those individuals that are really about that life and living that life are behind them walls. Some do come out, and they're out here for a short period. Why? Because they are about that life. They're not on social media, but they do have ears open and their head's always on the swivel. You know, there's retired ones. You know, you may just push the button of a retired individual that represented that group and catch him on a wrong day, and his instincts will come about and do what needs to be done. You know, yeah, I'm rambling. But anyways, yeah, for you individuals out here carrying them titles, be prepared, because what you put out here on social media doesn't go away. Guaranteed. You get torcido and you get locked up, someone's going to recognize you. And by you claiming the fame, and that individual knows that you ain't about that game, or you're going to be put to the test. And with that title there, you're obligated, baby. There ain't no turning nothing down. There's no job too small. It's an honor to provide a service to the bigger cause. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Does the recognition go far? It only goes as far as you carry it. It's self-rewarding, let's just put it that way. And the only way you're going to understand that is because you lived it. Because at the end of the day, one of them individuals, they don't give a fuck what the next man thinks. You know what you did. You conduct yourself and present yourself to the best character that you want people to see on display. That speaks volumes. You know, your actions. You don't have to brag and boast. But now, I'm going to keep it real and 100% with you. There's people that carry that title that have it blasted all over them. Those are the mexicas that don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? When I was going through the system, whenever there was a identifying mark on us, we kept it hidden. We didn't put it out there on Front Street to front us off with the fucking huras, with the canines, what you guys call the canines. I call them the huras, you know what I mean? Nowadays, people like to brag and boast. But like Mr. Dub said, those ones walk in the shadows, the really ruthless ones. They move in silence. I consider them like a stealth bomber. They're there before you know it. And what needed to be done is done. You know, so once again, for you internet gangbangers and gangbanging rappers, I'm not saying you ain't a gangbanger, because that's something I will clarify before I move on to that. I've had conversations with some of my homeboys. And my homeboys are pretty well educated. They will not carry themselves with that title. And if they do carry that title, they're not going to say that they carry that title. Because if you know, you know. I could say 90% of anybody from a barrio doesn't have the right to carry that title. You're either a gangster, a gangbanger, or a gang member. And for those of you, again, that don't understand that, there's no need for you to go digging, because it's not really of importance, especially to you. That's like the other day, someone said, "Hey, are you a gang member?" Absolutely not. I'm not a gang member. I'm retired though now, I can tell you that. I don't participate in the reindeer games no more, baby. I've did my duty and did my time, and I'm out here doing what really counts on the real grind, the rough grind. Because every day in this free world is a challenge, especially coming from the background, the history that I have. It's a day in, day out challenge, because I could lose my freedom in a blink of an eye just for a simple mistake. Why? because I still have that person inside of me. He's just rocked to sleep right now. You know, so once again, I've talked to some of my younger homies and I've explained to them not to use that title because I brought it to their attention that they are not of that title. And that's just being a good homie to the younger homies, because why would you want to let your homie get himself in a wreck? You know what I mean? Don't tell a person what they want to hear. Tell them what they need to hear. That's the only way you're going to benefit in life, man. That's the only time you're going to ever figure out when you're making your mistakes. You got to be told what needs to be told, not what you want to hear. You know what I mean? Those yes people that say yes, yes to this and everything that you say, those ain't your real homies. Those ain't the people that are really on your team. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, people, I believe this video is long enough. It's a topic that I don't really like to elaborate on, but Mr. Dubs brought it to light. He put the title out there, and like I said, that's a title that should be respected. That's not a title that's given. That's a title that's earned. And trust and believe, you are not earning it out here in the calles. That's earned in there, behind them walls. So, I hate to bust your guys' bubbles. You Mexica warriors that are out here wolfing about people being no good, this and that, and que whoopty whoop, I would do this, and que whoopty whoop that, and man, why don't you do this, or you're considered that because you're this, this, and that. Those real ones wouldn't be on here on social media doing that. I tell you that right now. Never that. They ain't got time for this bullshit on here. As far as myself, I'm retired. You know what I mean? I'm out here putting up content, keeping my audience entertained, and this is an avenue where I can make some revenue for my main source of revenue, which is my online fitness coaching. Now, with that being said, people, I'm going to bring this video to an end. Thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever you like. Just make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Well, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this channel. We'll get this channel up to 10,000 subscribers, start doing lives, and we could chop it up about anything you want on the YouTube yarda. But just keep in mind, zero tolerance. There's not going to be no chiquiadas. You will be removed when you bring stupidity to my yarda. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, with that being said, if you're ready to get started on your fitness journey and break them limited beliefs and start being that person that your family could be proud of, shoot me that DM. High Power Fitness. High_power_fitness_. Go to my Instagram and check it out. I have over 2 years of material there. Me going to the gym, 2 o'clock in the morning, never missed. 2 years straight. Didn't talk about it. I stood about it. And now I'm showing you a different way that you could do it in the comfort of your own home, working out at home with the bare minimum weights, bare minimum machines. You don't need much. You just got to apply a little exercise with the nutrition dialed in, and it's all good. So that's one way of reaching me, through my Instagram, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours. Let's do this.